Hey everyone! Today let's chat about Inktober. First off, you may be wondering, what is Inktober and who is it for? What is this all about? So Inktober is a challenge that was started by Jake Parker in 2009 as a challenge to himself, and then has grown in sort of a worldwide movement, if you will, where lots and lots of people participate all around the world. So who can do Inktober? Anyone can do Inktober. You can do Inktober. Anyone can. All you have to do is pick up a pen and just start. When is Inktober? Inktober takes place every October, and it's basically October 1st through the 31st, and you can participate by drawing on those days. So a big question is, how do I do October? How do I join in this really cool art challenge? Well, Jake Parker has made it really simple. So this is straight from the Inktober website. Number one, you draw with ink. That's it. No other restrictions. Number two, you post it, even if it's on your refrigerator. Just the act of sharing and putting your work out there is an important step in the life of an artist. And number three, you use hashtag Inktober or hashtag Inktober 2018 or both. And that's a great way to have your art seen by other artists and join in with the community of artists who are participating in Inktober. And then what else? Well, you repeat it every day for 31 days, or you can do a different variation once a week, once every 2 weeks. Do what works for you. For me, I do 20 drawings usually. I can't do 31. I know that's not going to work. So more on that later. And you are invited to join in by Mr. Jake Parker, who's the creative of Inktober, and me. I would love for you to join me for Inktober. That would be so fantastic. Review of the rules: draw, post, hashtag, and repeat. Let's get down to the supplies. So I have a variety of supplies. Some I will use during Inktober, and some I have already used to start my preparation for Inktober. So first of all, let me explain these little backgrounds. So I'll be using backgrounds for my drawings. Inktober may traditionally be black and white, only one color according to the Inktober website. But I'm, in love with color, and so I want color in my drawings, and so this is the way I've chosen to do it. And what we have to do is make these challenges work for us as artists, and so this is what I'm doing to tweak it and make it work for me. And I still get to participate even though I'm technically a watercolor mixed media artist and not really a comic artist like Jake Parker, who started this challenge, of course. But I don't think he'll mind. That's my plan. So I'm going to be using these backgrounds, and they're colorful and fun, and I've already created a whole stack of them to just start getting prepared. I have a lot, and I'll just pick one each day, and I'll use it as my background. And I used Brusho, which is technically an ink. It's watercolor ink crystals, according to was it Blick website? I remember I looked it up. It said watercolor ink crystals. So technically this is ink. It's not black ink. So I used that to create my backgrounds. I have 3 colors that I used. I used crimson, yellow ochre, and turquoise. And I also have gray. And I may be using these to add in some shadows to my drawings. I haven't decided fully yet. I will have to be able to just allow myself to go with the creative flow. And so I may be using these for that purpose. And then I also have a variety of pens and inks. As you can see, I have this super black India ink, which I can use with my bamboo pen or a dip pen. I have another surprise ink coming in the mail today. It was supposed to arrive already, but it didn't, so I'll save that for a surprise for when I'm actually doing my drawings during Inktober. So that will be fun, and this just gives me a way to add a variety of lines to my drawings. So I'll be using those. I could do a little demo here of the lines you can get. So you just dip. I also have a glass dip pen, which I may use. I just got that on my hand. You guys are used to that sort of stuff. So I have a nice sort of thick line there. If I go lightly, I can get a small thin line with my bamboo pen. So that's kind of fun. And then I have my dip pen, which is a super fine point. So I can get really fine lines there. Or I can press down and get a little bit thicker. Or I can vary and get some interesting lines there. I'm just trying to give myself a lot of leeway, if you will, to create and be inspired. There's my messy handwriting. And then I have a variety of other pens that I'll be using. So primarily I'll be using the Microns, which are a 0.01 micron, which gives you such a fine line. And a 0.08 micron, which gives you a little thicker line. I also have a Faber-Castell brush pen, which is a gray, which I may be using also to add shadows. So this is a Pitt pen by Faber-Castell. I have a Uniball 1.5. This is going to give me a nice, really thick line. See how thick that line is? So I can get like some bigger dots, and whereas the Microns are going to give me, even the 0.08 is going to give me really small, and the 0.01 is even tinier. So this gives me a variety of line sizes that I can use, and will make the drawing process go a little bit faster. And now I have my Posca pens. Now I have to be honest with you, I love my Posca pens, and these are paint pens, but I'm a watercolor and mixed media artist. I'm still going to use my Posca pens, I can tell you, because I love them. Love, love, love. So, Posca. And this one is a fine tip. I'm not sure if it's called ultra fine or just fine. Everything is in Japanese, so we'll see. Then I have my white pens. Let me put out this black paper so you can see. First of all, I have my Uniball Signo, which I really do love, love, love. It takes a second sometimes to get it working. There's a nice, solid, opaque, and I can use it to make small dots that I cannot get with my Posca pen, because this is Uniball Signo. It's a 1.0 millimeter. And then I have my white Posca pen, which will give me also nice opaque lines. I can get bigger shapes, and I can make splatters and dots with it. Same with the black Posca. Makes me smile, guys, makes me smile. So those are my pens that I have sort of set aside to use for Inktober. I also have a pencil, Ticonderoga pencil, which I love. Now that's it for my supplies. But as far as my plan goes, I have some ideas, and it's not completely gelled yet. I've been doing a little bit of practicing. I'll just share some of my preliminary ideas and sketches with you. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. I've been trying to sort of figure out maybe a theme or or possibly a style I want to use. I thought I might do a Zentangle style, but then I kind of really lost the color that I wanted there, and this was just too much line work for me. So I kind of said, no, I don't think I want to do a Zentangle style this time, but I'm going to leave it in my arsenal for those days when I'm super busy and I'm struggling to get my Inktober project done, and this would be a quick way for me to do it. So I have that as a possibility. There's another similar kind of a Zentangle, but with more white, more quote white space. Of course there's color in there and dangles and things. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just sketch and draw. So I sketched the sea turtle, which I have a fun thing coming up for you for that. And drew that and inked it and tried that. And I was like, well, that might work. That could be interesting. And I did a little bit of just free drawing and doodling. So this started with pencil. This had no pencil background. I just used the forms that were already on the paper to create a drawing, and I really actually love that a lot. Here's another that's similar. And so that's probably what I'll do for the most part. So I've kind of got these three ideas, I guess you would say. So I have the idea of pencil then ink, which is completely allowable for Inktober. I have the idea of sort of the Zentangle idea going on, and then the freestyle drawing, which I have here. These happen to be florals, but I have a lot of other floral shapes I've been practicing. I've been trying out different ideas for things I could draw. So I have shells and stars, people, flowers, fish. Any of these butterflies may show up at any time, or they may not show up at all in my Inktober drawings. So that's my plan. You may wonder why I have such small pieces of paper. For me, I really need Inktober to be super doable, which is why I've given myself these options, why I've made my format small and not large. I cannot spend a huge amount of time on it. I need it to be contained and really doable, and I want to explore creativity. I want to explore drawing. I want to explore I want to push my creativity and my sense of design and style through Inktober, and that's more important to me than making some large format drawing. As I said, I'm not a comic artist, so I'm not as concerned with, say, line work and quality as a comic artist would be, but I do want to practice varying line weights and widths and shapes and all those things associated with drawing. So those are my thoughts. My goals for Inktober. I think I should write this down. What are my goals for Inktober? Thanks for reminding me to write my goals down. I really appreciate it. So first off, keep it super simple. Always at the top of my list for art and art challenges alike. Then I added a few more rules and guidelines to go along with it. I want to keep that idea of exploring composition, drawing, inking. I want to push my creative boundaries. That's my main focus for this challenge, to make Inktober work for me also, and to do daily artwork. So that's it. Those are my goals for Inktober. Now, as far as posting online, I will be sharing on Instagram. I'm not sure how it's going to work here on YouTube yet, if I'll be making some time-lapse videos or if I will be chatting through the process. I have a few ideas, but it hasn't quite gelled yet. If you want to tell me what you want to see me do, that would be fantastic down in the comments, because I need your ideas. They're so helpful to me, and I will know better of what you like. So do you like speed videos? Do you like sort of a walkthrough of what I'm doing? Do you enjoy chatting about other things while I'm drawing? For example, what do I mean when I say keep it super simple. You know, what are my tips for completing goals? So that kind of chatting, do you prefer that? Do you prefer daily videos? Would it be better to have one weekly video that shows all of my 5 projects for that week? See, these are all things I have to think about, and it would be great if you would leave in the comments what you like to see. That would help me so much. Okay, thanks so much for joining me for this Inktober planning video, and I hope you'll join me for Inktober if you can. Let's share on Instagram and let's share here on YouTube. That would be fantastic. And thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you very soon. Oh, I think I bumped you again. I'm sorry. You're just sitting so close to me. Which is all good. We're all friends here, right?